So, welcome back to LightWave Guru. So, Sarah, sorry for the late delay. So, your question is, in what way I built things like that? Yeah. So, I seen someone have seen it in the last day, my experiments with the parent emitter end option. And Sarah, if you would build an explosion or something like that, yeah, you can see here, and you have no idea how to do this. So that's what you wrote here, yeah. So how did you do this? I have a good idea for you, and that is that I bring now under my video this link from William Forgan. So that's a very old tutorial from 7 years before. It have 200 views, yeah. So it's a little inside video, yeah. And that video show you in what way you build a particle system, and this first particle system activates then with the parent emitter end options a second option, yeah. Here that's the parent emitter end option. And you see then that you can, that particle here give a lifetime, then that particle go his way, and after that you activate with that first particle system with the parent emitter end option in the second particle system, in what way it would be activated. So that's the simplest way to understand what I do here, yeah. So I put the link from William under the video. That then in the end I do the same here, yeah. So I expand the principle here a little bit. So that means the first particle system shoot out the general particle out of the cannon, yeah. So that's the first particle system, and the second particle system is the big bada boom, yeah. So the main explosion for that fireworks. And then I have a third particle system that do the same to build the sparkles in the end, yeah, that orange sparkles. And if you take a look in my renderings, I can show it in a better way, yeah. So I have here, for example, a shot where all the where the ARV, that vehicle, stand up and rotate a little bit his tower and bring the particle systems to life, yeah. So we go now first to the first of the frames from the rendering frames, then I can show it. So wait a second, yeah, it's moved backward in the moment. So that I've found the first frame and the first step for that, yeah. So now we have it, and the principle is the following. So for that case, yeah. So the particle system is parented on the gun, yeah. So the gun is parented on the tower. The tower is parented on the body from that vehicle. So if I animate the tower, the gun will follow. So and that means if I then activate it, the first particle system is shoot out, and all particles go in the direction that the tower is rotated, yeah. And then you see here, after a specific time, with the option particle emitter end, the next particle system would be activated. And that's here in my case. If we stepped here, you see exactly frame 76. Yeah, and the reason for that is that the spawn birth rate for the first particle system, for this one here, have a lifetime that is specific 80 frames, but with a plus and minus from 15 frames. That means the time that the particles comes out from the gun variate a little bit, so it make it a little bit more natural, yeah. So that you have not that machine like dun. So that's a natural fire rate, yeah. So the gunner fire with a gun, yeah. So then the second particle system would be activated after that 80 frames plus minus 15 frames. So then that particle system have also a lifetime from lifetime from 60 frames, and after that 60 frames that particle system live, you see it here on the left side of the frame. The next particle system would be activated, and that third particle system has the same numbers of particles as the second, the big boom, yeah. Only the color and the vibration and the explosion parameters are different, so that you see it as sparkles then, yeah. So, and that's the third here, and that bring in the end then, if you play it, that effect, yeah. So the first particle system shoot out the particles in the sky, then after 75 frames in the middle, the main explosion with the second particle system would be activated and make that big bada boom, yeah, and the third particle system builds the sparkles in the end, so that you have that sparkle, the typical effects, yeah, if the main explosion is over. And that's the whole idea. So the second thing is that in LightWave, is it possible to link it real geometry to the particles. And that means if you render with Octane, and I use Octane for my renderings, so is it possible to give for every from that particle a real object. So that's in my case a little ball, yeah, with 24 polygons. And on every from that particles, now with the LightWave instancer is for every particle instance one ball, yeah. So if you see the color from the first particle system that comes out of the gun, you see that you see only one color, and the reason is for that I use only one object with a light emission node from Octane, and that light emission parameter is red light, yeah, and that's the reason that is here red, yeah. But for the main explosion I use not one single object for instancing on that particle system. So for that big bada boom here, I use here 3 different objects, little balls, and every from that ball have another color temperature, yeah. So one has the color red, one has the color blue, and another has the color white. And that brings that mix of lights in that big bada boom. And for the third, for the sparkles, I use one more time another single object, and that has the light emission node that have a lower light intensity, much lower light intensity via the emission node in Octane, and only one color, that orange, yeah. And that in the end brings the color variations in that firework. And that's here, yeah, it's a basic scene. It's not so complicated to build. And the simple thing is you build your first particle system, that in my case is that the particles come out here. And if the lifetimes end from that particles, the next particle system would be activated over the lifetime. And the next particle system, that big bada boom, is parented in the scene editor under or on that particle system here, so that the particle system know, so the first particle system know, here's a second particle system. What I have to do, I have to do to activate myself after the lifetime from that particle end. And this is what you see here, yeah? So if the lifetime from the first particle end, the second particle system would be activated, brings then the big boom. With explosion and vibration options for that particle system. And the same is happen if that big boom is over and the lifetime of that particles is over here after 60 frames, then this particle system activate for every particle that put it out another particle, and that another particle with other vibration and explosion options creates then that sparkles, yeah. And that's the whole principle, that you can parent a particle system on a particle system on a particle system. So I have here, if I show it in the scene editor, you can see it here, that the particle systems, in my case here, that this one is parented. Let me take a look where it is in the moment. So that's all the bullets for that little bolts for the instancing, and let me take a look here. I think here is it. So here, that's the first gun particles. So now is it activated? You see it here now. Now is it yellow? Yeah. So that's the first, the gun particle. Then I have here the gun particle boom. That's the second one. Yeah. You can also see on the colors from the box previews in the instancer that I have different colors. And then I have here that the third one that sparkles, there's now yellow, that's the third. And they are all parented to another, so that the first particle system know, okay, there are other particle systems and I can activate them after my lifetime. Yeah. And that's the whole principle in the scene. So I hope I can help a little bit about that scene and say now, have a nice time. Later, bye.